class we have seen reactive power. The relation we have established, and that we have plot a graph. Okay. Here we have shown real power. Okay. This is P maximum. Just P maximum, and we have also shown reactive power, right? This is 90 degree, this is 180 degree. Our reactive power will like that. Okay, so reactive power is maximum here. So this we have seen P Q versus delta. So we will never go delta beyond 90 degree. I will prove you in stability why we will not go beyond 90, but we can also observe from here also that delta should always be less than 90 degree for stability. And this you will also see in synchronous machine of electrical machine. Delta should be always less than 90 degree for stability point of view. Here we can also, if reactive power increases, then what are the effects? There is a problem of insulation and other effects that we will discuss right now. So what relation we have seen? What relation we have seen that if suppose there is a sending in voltage and there is a transmission line, your reactive transmission line. So there is no power loss, real power loss are zero. And here is receiving in voltage and there is a load. Okay. Here power SL equal to PL plus JQL. Okay. And we are assuming that whatever may be the sending in power is same as the receiving in power. So we are assuming that whatever may be the sending in power, same power is going to the load, that is QL. So this we are assuming. It means there is no reactive power taken by the transmission line is zero. That we are assuming. So if you are writing the equation of current, what is the current? So if you are writing current through this, S equal to what? BS, suppose angle is delta and its angle is 0. BS delta minus DR angle 0 divided by BS. From this equation S equal to BI conjugate, then compare, then what is the relation for Q? Reactive power. We have seen QS, QR is what? BS, DR by X cos delta minus DR square by X. Okay. So their magnitude I am assuming same. Magnitude same means there is no reactive power. It means whatever may be in, this is outgoing, this is incoming, QR is incoming, okay, and this is outgoing. So if you are taking outgoing negative, simple as you apply KCL, this is outgoing and this is what? Incoming. If you are taking incoming as positive, outgoing as negative, then this is relation will hold. Okay? So by using this relation, What is QS? Minus VR square by X. So this is plus, because we are multiplying minus VS VR by X cos delta. Can we write in that way? Or you can write directly from here. If you are taking BR common, BR by X, simply you can keep this in mind. Okay, so BR by X, this is what BR cos delta minus BR by, this is BS, not BR, BS, this. Can we write this equation in that manner? So what we want to find? We want to find VR. So what is X into QR divided by taking this term to this side. Okay? So X into BR equal to BS cos delta minus BR by X. This we can write here. BS, BR, X all are magnitude. Okay? Every quantity here is magnitude. X is magnitude, QR is magnitude, BR is magnitude. All these are magnitudes. So you know, so if you are little bit simplifying it, then what we are getting? We are getting this. Okay. Now you know this relation. Okay. Put here this relation. Okay. What we are getting? X into QS is minus. Okay. So I will multiply minus sign on both sides. This is what? BR by X minus BS cos delta. If you are multiplying minus sign, because this relation, using this relation. So I can write QR at the place of QR minus QS. Then I am getting this relation. Okay. X QS by are you getting it? Now I am assuming delta is approximately 0. Okay. Is very small. Then this is what X QS divided by VR equal to VR by X minus BS. So what is BR? Little bit I have done some. I make some mistake. Just again, this is okay. Now I write expression for QS. Okay. What is QS? QS is what? If I am writing QS, then this is Vs square Yx minus Vs square Yx minus Bs Bry Bs Bry x cos delta. Okay. So at the place of Br, we are putting Bs, okay, because we are getting from this side. Okay. So just make this one correction. Then if you little bit simplify it. Okay. So QS is what? Put delta approximately 0. Then QS is what? QS equal to minus Bs square Yx minus Bs Br by x. Okay. Because cos 0 is. Now if you will take Bs common, this is Bs by x, bracket in Bs minus Br. QS. So if I multiply x QS divided by Bs equal to Bs minus Br. What is Br? Take Br this side. Br is Bs minus x QS divided by 2. So you can see here, if I will vary Q, then we can vary receiving end voltage. Okay. So from this it is clear, we can control receiving end voltage by varying Q, X and Bs. Bs is sending end voltage or generator voltage. Okay. So there are 3 ways to control this expression. Or we can say control the receiving end voltage by 3 ways. First is by varying Bs. Second is by varying Qs. And third one is by varying X. So there are 3 methods to control receiving end voltage. This is called internal voltage control, or excitation control. Or excitation control method. Okay. This is what QS. Okay. So we can control Q to control Br by shunt compensation. So this can be done by shunt compensation. Shunt may be inductor, may be capacitor, or may be intermediate. Or midpoint compensation. And this is what? This is series compensation. So series compensation. So these are the 3 methods. Okay. Total. Apart from that, there is another 4th method, that is on-load tap changing transformer. And 5th one is regulating or booster transformer. So these are the methods by which we can control voltage. Okay. These are mentioned in your syllabus. Okay. So there is another method is also, that is dynamic control method. Okay. means we are using generators and motors. So based on the location of the compensation component, we can classify or we can control the voltage. Okay? So that is also called, another method is also called voltage regulator. Okay? Excitation control, internal voltage control, or automatic voltage regulator. So I have shown this load frequency control, automatic voltage regulator. Okay. Then another is synchronous condenser. This is also in your syllabus. Synchronous condenser. Okay, synchronous condenser. And seventh one is overexcited synchronous motor. This we will also see. Overexcited synchronous motor. The eighth is static bar compensator, SBR. Static bar compensators, that we will also see, okay, in this course. So let us see first voltage control method.
चार्जिंग है क्या इसकी? हाँ, कितनी है? है ना?
This is clear? Now we will control the voltage. So what kind of loads I have discussed with you? Okay. Types of load. वो थोड़ा सा चार्ज हो जाता है, उसके बाद types of loads. So there are three types of load which I have discussed with you. First one is constant P and Q, constant real power, reactive power load. What are the example of this load? Example is motor load. And another kind of load is constant current load. Constant current load. Example is converters, power electronics converters. Power electronics converter. And another one is constant impedance load. Constant impedance load. Example is, what are the example of these load? Resistor, inductor, capacitor. Okay. So these are the three types of load which we can find in our power system. Okay. So to control the voltage, okay, so as per standard, voltage should be maintained 0.095 per unit to 1.05. If this variation happens, then there is no need to connect any extra device. And if voltage go beyond this limit, lower or upper, then we need to, if limit violates, then we require voltage control. Voltage control scheme or we can say method. So where we want to control the voltage based on this. Okay. So you have seen in power system 1 transmission line loading. If we want to control external voltage, okay, then you have seen there is a voltage and distance. If there is a flat voltage profile, it means here we can say whatever may be the your voltage, this voltage will can you hear me? Right?
Yes, sir.
This is normal loading. Okay? Flat voltage profile means their surge impedance loading, or we can say this is at rated voltage. This is what B rated. Whatever may be your rated voltage, okay, it is maintained. Okay? And if there is a increase in capacitive effect, then your voltage will rise. You can see this kind of voltage profile. If there is a more capacitive effect in the transmission line, and if there is a dominant inductive effect in the transmission line, then voltage is going to dip. Okay? Voltage is going to reduce. So this is what overloading. This is what underloading, okay, or below load. So this kind of effect where you have encountered, this is what Ferrand effect, right? In Ferrand effect, you are getting receiving in voltage more than the sending in voltage. So here loading is greater than the surge impedance loading. In this case, your loading is less than the surge impedance loading. And you know surge impedance loading is nothing but B square by ZC. And you know ZC is under root L by C. Okay? So if capacitive effect more, well, this capacitance is more, then this is less. Okay? So this is the case. You can see from here. If C is more, then ZC is less. ZC, that's why ZC is less than the loading. Similarly, in this case, if L is more, okay? In this case, this is what, where L is more, here capacitive effect is more. So L is more means ZC is more. Okay? So we can say our loading is less than the surge impedance loading. So this line is loaded below the surge impedance loading. Then we are getting this, or we can say, sorry, ZC is more. Surge impedance loading is more than the loading. More in the surge impedance loading. So these kind of profile you can see in your transmission line. Okay. So we want to compensate these two effects. We don't want these. Okay. We don't want over voltage, under voltage, because these are affect the system performance. If there is a over voltage, then there is a chances of failure of insulation. Similarly, if there is a under voltage, then there may be a high current flow. Okay? Because voltage reduces, so current going to increase. So that will burn out your system or conductor performance going to degrade it. Okay? So to overcome these two effects, we will use voltage control. Okay? So first method is excitation control or internal voltage control. So what is the excitation control? So first method is excitation control. Excitation control means which voltage we are controlling? We are controlling internal voltage. Okay. So a generator can be represented by this way, approximately. This is generator voltage, or we can say Vs. This is what? Terminal voltage. And this is nothing but the sending in voltage. And this is what? Terminal voltage. So if you are controlling this by controlling the field, okay. So how it will control? This is controlled by field control, or we can say automatic voltage regulator, okay, which can adjust field. But if you are increasing this voltage or decreasing this voltage, then this voltage is also increase or decrease, okay, based on this voltage. I think okay, time is only 9 minutes left. Okay, so we are finishing this method within 5 minutes. Okay, so what if this is changing? This is also changing. Okay, so where we are placing this generator? Generator placed in power system. Okay, so suppose there is a power system which have a other transmission line also, because you know our power system is highly interconnected. Okay? Suppose there is a generator, okay, and generator is connected to another buses, okay, that may be load bus or generator bus. Okay? Similarly, if this is connected to another bus. Suppose this is load bus. This is also load bus. Okay? These two are load buses. And this is what? Generator bus. Okay? And this generator can be represented by this. So it's a terminal voltage BT. If BT is voided, suppose its voltage is 0.98. Okay? So there is no need to control voltage here. Suppose this voltage is 0.97, okay, PU. So this voltage also not required to control. Suppose this voltage is going to 0.92 or 9 bar. Then this voltage is going below the 0.95. So this voltage is required to control, okay, by using some external devices or by controlling the excitation of the generator. So if I will control by excitation, internal voltage control, by varying this voltage, we can vary this voltage, this terminal voltage of the generator. So if this voltage is varying, then nearby voltage is also affected. Okay? Because you know, suppose this is a JX1. Okay? Now, right now, current is going from this side to this side. Okay? But if you are increasing this voltage, then there may be chances current going to this side. Okay? So the voltage profile will be affected, right? This voltage as well as this voltage. So if you are changing excitation of this generator, then it will also affect nearby buses voltage, which is not recommended. We don't want to change this voltage and this voltage. We want to change only this voltage. This voltage we want to increase to up to at least 0.95 without affecting these voltages. So how can we did it? How can we do it? That we will see by another methods. Okay? Because excitation control method affects this voltage and this voltage. That's why this method, excitation control method, is not recommended. Why not recommended? Because it will affect, it will affect other bus voltage. Okay? Which do not require to change the voltage because these voltages are in limit. Okay? These are above 0.95. Okay? And 10% variation is allowed in voltage. Okay? If we are going plus minus beyond plus minus 10% voltage, then we will control that voltage. Okay? And all the voltage which we have within limit, they do not require to control, or they do not require to change their voltage profile. So another method is shunt compensation method. Okay? Only placing shunt here, okay, to control this voltage. Okay? So in next class we will see other methods. Okay? That is shunt compensation method, okay, and series compensation method, and listed, which we are listed in voltage control method. One by one we will see. Okay? So you can see if we are going to this voltage control, then Q is directly proportional to what? It is injected Q. You know, excitation is what? Field required a reactive power. So this is what? Delta B, proportional to delta B. And delta V is what? Vs minus Vr, or we can say E minus V. So if you are changing E, then you can change, because you can't change this voltage, you can change E. If you are changing E, automatically this difference will change. So excitation voltage will change. Okay? And this voltage will change according to, after this drop, we are getting this voltage. Okay? Automatically this voltage is changing. And we know the angle between E and V is delta. That is torque angle or voltage angle or power angle. So in next class we will see the control method. Before that, I will give you one task. You have to understand what is lagging power, lagging reactive power, leading reactive power. Okay? What is the meaning of this? Lagging, leading reactive power. Okay? So please visit this concept, lagging reactive power, leading reactive power. Okay? Any question? Thank you. We will meet in next class.